Welcome to Matrix Talk.
Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday on January the 27th, 2023. For those of you who are watching on the recording, we're beaming over to YouTube as well. So if anybody's picking us up over there, we're going to wait just a minute or so, get everybody on board, and we're going to talk about how positive affirmations can harm you. It's billed as an advanced matrix, and it'll be a little bit of an advance, but not too bad. Really not too bad, and we'll fire it up in a second. Oh yeah, Paul says hi. David says hi. We need housekeeping, so if you're on Crowdcast, you can go in the lower right-hand corner, and currently I'm typing hello from Maine, and I did that, hello from Maine, so you can pop in where you're from, which is nice. A lot of times
just Langhorne, PA.
There's Pennsylvania, Maine,
Arizona.
Yay! Arizona.
Hello,
hey, Arizona.
Ooh, okay.
We get around. Whoa, back from. Oh, now we know where he is.
Craig from British Columbia. Yay!
Hello, from British Columbia has popped in there. Yay!
Cool.
We're picking up writers all along. Well, join Patreon, give me basic. You can do the. Well, patron is fine.
You can become a patron.
Basic information. You can probably.
Well, you can go to the. Should I put the website in?
Yeah, put the website in. Go there and join for free over there.
Yeah, you can join for free.
But we always encourage people to click the green button and do Patreon because, hey, and you get a workbook. If you do the $10,
you get a workbook.
You get a workbook, and that's a really great introduction. So, yeah, that's be the easiest. Click the green button, get the workbook, and that's a really great introduction.
And you can also look at our prior, we have hundreds of Crowdcast, Cat, that we go through act in the process.
We give most of our stuff away.
It's all there.
From dreary, cool Miami.
Oh, it's hard to think of Miami as being dreary and cool at the same time. I guess that's fine.
I don't know about that. We got a lot of people on. Okay, we don't want to bore people too much because we're just beaming over to YouTube. So I'm Kevin, and that's Phil, and we play mainly with the Matrix, and we're going to start off with sort of the elementary parts of that.
Yeah,
and you'll see, and it also applies to ACT. The Matrix is a simplification of the acceptance and commitment training.
Hey, Meredith, how you doing?
So it's just a simplification. It's an easy way of getting at the process. And but this time now we're talking about positive affirmations. This comes up a lot. So first of all, I'm going to go a teeny little bit experimental with you. Really easy though. We're going to use the vertical line here on my chest. And
on the whiteboard too.
We're going to tell you a little experiment that's been done many, many, many times, including by me. So I've done this research. So up at the top is the 5 senses, and that's where you bring in information. And down on the bottom is your mind, which is where, let's in this case say that's where you understand language, and the ultimate right down there at the bottom. And then you respond. Voila, you respond in one way or another. That's it, exactly. It's just a response. So now we can play a little game. We can put a word up there at the top, and we can ask somebody to just say, is this a word or not a word? And so we'll put the word good up there.
All right. Hold on.
We'll put the word good.
Good, right? Good.
And that rolls down, and then you're ready to make your response, and you've been asked, good, is that a word or not a word? And you go, it's a word. I got it. Hey.
What do I get? What do I get?
what do I get? You had nothing. You're an experiment.
Oh.
We'll give you your extra credit or something.
Yeah, you'll get some money at the end of the experiment.
Your $1 or something later on. Okay.
Hello.
Now here you go. Here's an interesting thing. After you put that word good up there, you can put the word, bad pretty quick. And the word good has facilitated your reaction time to the word bad, meaning it primed you up to respond faster to the word bad. This is a fascinating little research finding that's been going on for many decades. So we're not interpreting anything, we're just measuring reaction times. And it turns out that saying, or you can do the opposite way, bad,
Could reverse
also,
it.
it's called priming. Bad primes up good. And you can just do all kinds of sort of, what are those called? Antonyms kind of things, and show that the yin and the yang, the one you'll say good and it primes up bad.
Opposite sides of the same coin.
You put beautiful up and ugly is primed, but ugly up and beautiful's primed.
There you go.
They now, so the folks in ACT would call that, well, they're in a relational network. They're related. It comes from relational frame theory. But nevertheless, wow, interesting.
Yeah.
So let's do a little thought experiment here. Let's say that you get a positive affirmation from the outside. Maybe Phil here has provided you with, you're a good human. Positive affirmation. And that goes down, and now you're going to respond. I don't really care how you're going to respond. You're a good human. Now, given what you just learned about our little reaction time experiments, what has just been primed up? Anybody want to type that in down there? So you're a good human.
Oh, Dawn did it.
Exactly. And we're not interpreting nothing. You're not a good human. Exactly. It's called, in relational frame theory, they have a name for it called entailment. Just means the tails are connected like that. The yin and the yang, and whatever, however you want to put it.
Both sides of the same coin.
This is an experimental finding. Pure reaction time experiment. When I do this, I mean your fingers on the Z and like the question mark on a keyboard, and you're being asked to make non-word decisions. Is it a word? Is it not a word? That's it. It's real simple, and this kind of stuff is very robust.
Yes.
And so that somehow you're messing with a relational network. So we're on positive affirmations. Now, usually, first of all, you read the positive affirmation from outside of you. That's the stuff coming in through the five senses.
Coming in.
So Phil's given you one, or you read one in a book. Hey, Phil, have you seen any positive affirmation books?
Let me see. Like recently, or like in my life?
Like ever.
In my life?
Yeah, if you go to
I couldn't even begin to count the number of them.
I mean, come on, folks. There's shelves of them.
Yeah.
There's shelves.
I could go to the local Barnes and Noble right now.
Yeah, and you'll see.
There's the section is growing and growing and growing.
So now we know, we stand there and we stare at it and we go, oh, wow. So doing a positive affirmation just on a reaction time level cues up the other side, cues up the negative. So the positive affirmation cues up, makes more available somehow for reaction time purposes. Negative.
Yep.
Lousy primes up good. Good primes up lousy. Great. They don't mention this in these books.
No, they don't.
I'll tell you about that.
Well, they leave that part out.
They leave that part out. They may not even know it, but I do, because I'm an egghead, and that's where
you're watching those people with the G's and the
right, but it just works out this way.
Yep.
So let's say that you're suffering from.
Does evaluation create duality, black-white thinking? Stas asks.
Well, does it create it? It primes it.
It's already there.
It's already there, so you've primed it up. So positive. So usually what you do is you read the positive affirmation or you hear it at a lecture or whatever.
There you go.
And then you internalize it. And that's what you're supposed to do, right? Is that
here's one.
You're feeling loud.
One or two of those researchers. Oh, she wants citations.
We'll give you those later. But
yeah,
there's a bunch. Looks up reaction time studies for word, non-word decision tasks. The actual lexicon is it's a lexical decision task. The name of it. Lexical decision task. Interesting when you do it that way. Kahneman did a bunch of those as well.
Anything by Kahneman.
Yep. So if you look up Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman, you'll get some of that kind of research that you'll see. He also did stuff as far as reactions to take your fingers out of it, and they measured pupil dilation. So another thing that you can do for getting at reactions that don't require any interpretation. It's just you're measuring a reaction time, or you're measuring blood pressure, or you're measuring pupil dilation or skin resistance or whatever. There's lots of things that you can do. But we know these are cute. And in the lingo, it's called queued up. So you've queued it up. Wrong word. Primed it. You've primed it up. So these are that's the other thing to look up is priming experiments. Priming, P-R-I-M-I-N-G, priming experiments. So for our purposes, we're going to say, if you say a positive affirmation, you've just primed up a negative one, like clockwork. You can't not do it. It's
like thinking Mary had a little. You cannot lay off of that.
You can't lay off of it. You can't prime the primes. They just are. And so a positive affirmation, it primes up or gets you ready for a negative one. Okay, so you learn positive affirmations. You learn, if I'm feeling low and worthless, I'm worthless. That's it. I'm feeling worthless.
Oh, yeah.
So you've identified you're feeling worthless. So, okay, folks, now let's do another part of the matrix. When somebody says something like worthless, they say, I'm experiencing worthless. We sort that in the matrix in the lower left-hand quadrant. We draw a horizontal line, and there's 4 quadrants, and we put worthless in the lower left-hand quadrant. And so, because it's the kind of thing you don't want anymore. I don't like that feeling of worthless. That doesn't feel good. I want to get rid of it. So you get a book, and the book says the fix for it, for worthless, is give yourself a positive affirmation.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that's a response. So now your response to worthless is positive affirmation. And but it doesn't go up there, Phil. It's inside of you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so you haven't said it yet.
So draw your worthless down here. Right.
Okay. And what would be the positive affirmation that might be said? How about I am lovable? How about that?
Okay. So worthless, and the positive affirmation is I'm lovable. There we go. Okay, everybody together. When you say I'm lovable, what did you just cue up? You know it. It's already
there. It's already there.
It's right. It's right there. I'm lovable cues up what? I'll wait for somebody to respond. Not worthy.
Not worthy. Unlovable. Man, I think they're catching on, Kevin.
The direct one is unlovable.
That's it.
So now the loop goes back down to nobody. Oh, it's getting worse now. Now nobody loves me, and we're hanging around in the lower left-hand quadrant. Okay, but now I got to fix unlovable with some other positive affirmation, right?
Yep. We need something to balance that out.
I need another one. Quick, go to the book, find another positive affirmation. Somebody give me another positive affirmation. We gotta fix this up.
We're listing.
We're we're in trouble.
Yeah.
We're in need of a positive affirmation. Anybody got a positive affirmation book? People don't want to play with me. Oh, come on. Phil, well, Phil will play with me. Okay.
Well, I am capable. Let's do that.
I am capable. Here we go. I am capable. Anybody like that one? I am capable. And this is inside your head. Remember, it's inside. Now you could speak it out loud, and if you spoke it out loud, then it goes up top. I am good enough, right? And if you,
in your mind, right?
And some people, in some of these books, they'll say you need to, say it out loud.
Well, I am very valuable. Definitely very valuable than them. Oh,
and if you say it now, if you say it inside, it stays in the lower part of the matrix. If you say it out loud, it goes to the top. That's the trick of these.
But I am valuable up here for saying it.
Okay. And here's the test. So that gets rid of all that. Voila, just like that. It got rid of all that unworthy. It got rid of all that unlovable. It got all I am kind. So what does I am kind prime up, Meredith? What is entailed to I am kind? It's as stuck on it as it can be. I am kind. I'm cruel.
Right. Ooh, cruel. Okay.
And so I didn't want to we didn't want to stray very far away from just garden variety experimental psychology evidence that shows the death trap of these God-darned positive affirmations, because your mind doesn't operate like the books want you to do it, which is I do positive affirmations and I get,
erase them.
Wonderful things go up. Actually, no. When I do positive affirmations, the first thing it primes up is the negative, the other side. They're in, as I said, in relational frame theory, we call it entailed. They're connected, and you're going to end up in what we call stuck loops on the left-hand side. You're going to start spinning from, you're going to dig up another positive affirmation.
I am kind. I put that up there.
And in no time at all, I'm lousy or whatever is going to show up. Prime simply means this. Prime, it comes from priming the pump. And that's when you used to have a pump handle and it would be dry. And if you had a cup of water and you could pour it right down, and that would actually it'd lubricate the gasket a little bit, and then the pump would start to work, priming the pump. So if you say ugly, it just primed you to respond more quickly to another word. What is it? Think of it. Ugly primes lots of things, but it also primes the opposite. So ugly primes.
There you go.
Exactly. It's that way. Ugly also primes, some related words to ugly. But it primes all of that. And when it means prime, it just means you're primed for the response. Like, I'm ready for the response, but it's unconscious. You don't realize it whatsoever. And so that's what priming means. And there is a half a library full of priming dissertations and stuff. This is not. This is extraordinarily common experimental psychology thing. So this is one of my pet peeves that started back when, and let me give you my story a little bit. I was originally a experimental psychologist doing, my dissertation is this kind of research, by the way. And so, I don't know, one thing led to another, and I became a clinical psychologist. Okay. So took an extra year and became a clinical psychologist. So naive Kevin goes, oh, the clinical psychologist folks are reading what the experimental psychologist folks are doing and using it in their clinical practice. Guess what I found out, Phil?
Well, Kevin, I'll bet you find out that was, well, given our little topic here, that entailed the opposite.
That was absolutely not the case.
You silly experimental psychologist, you.
Yeah, I mean, they might as well have been on opposite sides of the campus. Yeah. I mean, they were. It was like,
yeah, lines were drawn, trenches were built, barbed wire was thrown up,
and so you get silly stuff like this. That if you ask an experimental psychologist, they go, "What the hell are you doing that for? You just drive up the other side." And you got the clinical folks doing the unicorns and rainbow stuff, and like, oh no, positive affirmations. Yeah. This is positive psychology. Oh, like
building self-esteem.
Right. I know Seligman did his positive psychology stuff, but he never presented that in front of a bunch of experimental psychologists. They'd have chopped him up because of this kind of basic research, this very basic research. So this is why they get you in so much trouble. From a matrix, from a what do they call it? Creative hopelessness kind of thing. You're in a stuck loop on the left-hand side, and you get hopelessly stuck over there, trying to get yourself out of a rut with something that gets you into the rut, further into the rut.
The more you don't want it, the more you get it.
Right. Phil was just talking about, he's
someone I know who's working with someone who they have the dreaded ADHD disease,
and they're using charts.
They're doing all the things: the charts, the stickers, the stars, the medication.
The stickers are the positive affirmation stuff,
and they're charting things and doing all that stuff.
And
all
they're
the things that you're asked to do. Yeah,
and this isn't working. I mean,
and the comment was nothing works.
Right. And that's just the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So this came up. It was like, why do you guys react so negatively to these positive affirmations? But this is why.
Yeah.
Because hey, if you're on YouTube, this is great. They're a bunch of hogwash. That's what they are.
Yeah.
And they're the antithesis of ACT.
Yeah.
Okay. ACT, the first A, that A says acceptance. If I'm trying to use a positive affirmation to counteract something going on inside of me, that is not acceptance. That's counteracting. That's fighting against it. That's literally, I'm fighting against myself. And when you get into a fight with yourself like that, you're going to lose.
Yep.
You're going to lose. And what I mean by that, I'll finish the sentence. You're going to lose time. You may not lose anything else, but you're for sure going to lose time because you're going to waste time.
Time suckers.
Trying these loop after loop after loop.
Yeah, you could end up losing your money.
Right. And you can end up losing a lot more.
Yep.
But for sure, there's going to be milliseconds and seconds and tens of seconds and minutes and hours wasted.
Jeez.
Boom, boom, boom. Trying to do something that we know from experimental psychology is not going to work. As a matter of fact, you're going to prime. You're going to be so primed up for negative stuff, you're just going to be yucked. So here along comes Steve Hayes and all of them going, this ain't a good idea. This is not a good idea. Let's just accept what we got here. Okay. I got worthless showing up. There we go. Here comes this word, noticing. You'll hear that word a lot in ACT. So I am noticing that I am feeling worthless. And that's it, folks. Now, I'm also noticing, I can even notice that I use positive affirmations to try to get rid of the noticing. So I can notice myself doing a positive affirmation. And here comes the next thing that ACT does, which is to ask the question, well, is it working to get you where you want to go in life? That's the values thing. And if it's not, like, well, maybe I ought to reconsider these positive affirmations. I mean, if they're working for you, great. I mean, fantastic. But I've worked with a whole lot of people in the thousands, folks. They don't work. They don't work for them. They don't work for them because they don't work. They prime up the opposite of what they mean. So here's let's make a real short sentence out of it. A positive affirmation book is a negative affirmation.
Oh yeah. It's a setup.
That's it. It just is. Inside the human brain, they're disconnected. You might as well be writing negative affirmation books.
Ooh. Hey, you just gave me an idea. That's a thought, Kev.
They're going to go both ways. It's not. Along comes ACT. Steve Hayes, Kelly Wilson, Kirk Strassel, and many others down the road. And they go like, it's probably a better idea just to accept that you have that stuff. And you know what? You can do a lot while you have worthless. You can do a lot while you have depressed. You can do a lot while you have anxiety. You can do a lot while you have any yucky thing, because those don't have to stop you from doing anything. And that brings me to my next point. Positive affirmations are not doing anything.
No.
And the cute acronym of ACT, which the first name for ACT was comprehensive distancing. Okay. That's a boring one. So they didn't do it. So when they did ACT, obviously they were going for action, right? Because they like that committed action. And there is something to say for action. Or you learn a lot more by acting, doing things, keeping your body doing things. Because then you can notice if what you're doing is working to get you where you want to go. That's a much easier analysis to do than trying to figure out if how you're thinking and feeling is getting you where you want to go. That's impossible. It's like if I'm walking through the forest, I can notice if my walking's working to get where I want to go.
Okay, closer to my destination, or
if I'm sitting
deeper in the woods.
Right. It's really dumb. I can't tell nothing. So action. So positive affirmations are not acting. They're not doing anything. You can say, I am going to do something nice for my wife.
Great.
Okay.
What has occurred?
Nothing has occurred.
Not a darn thing. There's my wife still. There's me here.
It's better to act. And so the whole idea of act, acceptance, and commitment, those two words together are, I'm going to accept let's just say worthless. So I'm going to accept the worthless and go ahead and act, do something for my wife. And I still got the worthless. I didn't worry about getting rid of the worthless. I'm not even doing the nice thing for my wife to try and do anything with the worthless. I'm not trying to do anything with the worthless.
Not doing it to get rid of the worthless either.
I'm just letting worthless be. It's just
Come on, worthless. You're going for a ride with me.
You're right. It's right. The metaphor they use a lot is you put worthless in your backpack and go. And it's just there. It's just sitting in your backpack. You're not trying to do anything. You're not trying to make yourself more worthless, less worthless, nothing. And everything about ACT is that acceptance of the internal stuff. The internal stuff going on inside of you is accepted, and then you get on about doing what you need to do. Now, there ain't no guarantees that what you do is going to work to get you where you want to go, but it's a hell of a lot easier analysis. Just what
Less
a lot
strain
easier.
on the brain for sure.
Right. I mean, it's pretty easy to tell, oh, these behaviors are working to get me where I want to go or not. I mean, you don't really have to think too awful hard about it.
You don't have to think at all.
Right. If it's working, you just don't have to think at all. But as far as the positive affirmations, no. But the biggie is what I presented, the first research evidence. Positive affirmations, just learn, folks. Positive affirmations lead to negative affirmations. And you can't not do it. Experimentally, you can't not do it. You can't come up with just the perfect positive affirmation that will avoid that trap. You will not avoid that trap. So that's why we diss on him. Why Steve Hayes dissed on him too. So, and it's, oh my God, we are unpopular in many circles for saying these things.
Probably going to become even more unpopular.
The positive psychology folks and all that.
The self-esteem folks.
Self-esteem folks. Oh yeah. With ACT, you don't give a flying flip about your self-esteem. Do something. But most people make it into a story like this. They say, well, first I got to improve my self-esteem, and then I'll get about doing something.
So you got low self-esteem, it shows up down here.
Right.
It's the same deal, folks. Low self-esteem. So I need to have, what's the opposite of low self-esteem, folks? Come on, let's go.
What is low connected to? Low is connected to narcissism. I love it.
Oh, it says
I love it. Hi.
Yeah. Now I got to go do something.
I don't think you would get a very robust experimental finding with narcissism.
I don't think so.
Low and narcissism. I don't think they prime each other, but low definitely primes high.
Low to high.
And and high primes low. It goes that way.
Exactly. So now you got to go and do something to get high self-esteem.
Well, you don't do anything. You think something.
Well, first you got to think it, right? Down here. Go down here first.
So, here's the thing. If you do something in the service of trying to get high self-esteem, you're going to end up right back in the same trap.
Here we go. So that looks like that'll look like this.
It's called quicksand.
Up here, we'll do something. Right. Whatever that is, fill in the blank.
And here's the language of ACT for you folks. And some people are new to ACT. So ACT would say, well, what do you value? I value my relationships. Well, what could you do for your relationships? I could call my mom. There you go. And that's it. It's it. If you say, I'm going to call my mom to improve my self-esteem, you just screwed yourself. I'm not kidding.
You just slid over here.
Yeah, you just went, you engaged in the fight with yourself. You're now doing battle with yourself, with your low self-esteem.
Setting yourself up for another loop.
Right. You're just going to go where instead you value your mom.
Yeah. In your relationship with your mom. Right.
That's it.
You take her out to lunch or something like that.
Whatever. You do that. That's it. It's you don't connect it to make, that it's going to make me feel better.
I'm going to improve my self-esteem by doing this.
No. So that's the acceptance. It really is radical acceptance. It really is. It's that you don't muck with it, because the instant you engage with it, you're burning time.
You're stuck to it.
It's now nobody can lay off of it. I mean, your mind is tricky, and it will get you. And you will start battling with it. My favorite is first thing in the morning. I mean, I get up and you do battle, and then but once you figure out to let go, and by the way, the ACT phraseology, let go. No, damn it. I missed a minute.
Show up.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Let go, show up, get moving. That's
it.
That's 3. So the let go is the let go of all of that. Don't worry.
Here.
Don't do that. Don't got self-esteem. Yeah, sure, fine, great. Show up. Get on about doing it.
Yeah.
It's
let go, show up. We're gonna get to that, Stas. Yeah.
Get moving.
Get moving.
So the left-hand side is let go. Over in the
here.
upper left, let go. Show up is right in the middle.
Right here.
Right in the middle, and get moving's over on the right.
Moving.
That's a direct. That comes from the hexaflex. By the way.
Yes.
And it also fits on the matrix. Let go of the stuff on the left. Show up to yourself in the middle. Get moving on the right. And the get moving is just whatever. Just get moving.
Just move. Just act.
And why do you move? That's so later on you can say, hey, is this working to get me where I want to go? And then don't answer that question. Keep moving. You'll figure out. That's it. That's how looks exactly, Phil. Let go, show up, get moving. That's it. That's right out of Steve Hayes, folks.
Get moving is okay. So now you got that right, Stas. Get moving is just act, perform an action, do something.
Yep, that's right off a Steve Hayes slide. One of his workshops back in like 04 or 5 or something way back when.
Okay, so Eddie's asking, clients will often say after identifying a committed action towards value, but I feel so bad, but I don't think I can. What is the best way to encourage diffusion if they keep jumping back into the left side?
Cool. I'm glad that you're noticing that you're feeling lousy while doing that committed action. That's exactly it. You got it. Congratulations. That's perfect. So
you're on the right track.
You're on the right track by noticing I feel lousy and doing the committed action at the same time. That's how it sounds.
You got it, Eddie. Model noticing. That's it.
So this instantly you model it. Yeah. That's in any situation where you do this training. Phil and I oftentimes do this in businesses. Yeah. Same thing. People will say some kind of topic like that, and you come back with, oh, so you were noticing this.
You're having the thought that
this yucky stuff while you were doing this other thing. And that's what modeling the noticing. Pop onto it. Other than that, you're invited to, let's figure out a way to get rid of that stuff. That's the invitation.
And then you're going
You'll be spinning on the left-hand side with your client.
Very quickly.
And that's not a fun place to spin.
No.
The more you do this work, the less you like spinning on that stuff. But you quickly get the hang of, oh, cool. So you noticed. Now, here's the ad. Here's the ad that I used to use. I don't know who asked the question, but I'll go.
That would be.
Man, so you noticed that. Where were you when you noticed that?
Yeah.
And they'll go, what do you mean? Where was I? Were you at home or in your car?
Or
at work? Where were you? And that's called contextualizing. So now you got the let go, show up, get moving, but you're contextualizing into a period, someplace in life.
Yep.
So that's a added little additional thing that you're doing.
What's going on before that showed up?
And really what you end up doing, folks, is you're training the observer self. You're getting the observer self online. So the observer self can say, I am noticing I feel lousy. And I'm doing this thing. I'm doing all that. I'm just noticing all that. So what do you do with feeling lousy? Notice it more.
Yep.
Definitely notice that more. Right? Because once you get into the thing, it's I got to get rid of it.
Yeah. You don't have to do anything with feeling lousy.
And ACT, they have, somebody might remember it. They have the pick up the rope.
Oh yeah, the tug of
rope
war.
thing. So, they have somebody hold on to the other side. Well, the struggle they're talking about is this one. I am lousy. Oh no, I got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
There's the rope. There's the struggle, and like that. And so the answer is to let go, drop the rope. And you'll hear the term "drop the rope." Most people have done that metaphorical exercise. They say drop the rope. So, I'm struggling with feeling lousy. Oh, isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
And then I noticed I dropped the rope. That's it. That's you just drop it. Let her be. It's a constant practice, folks. Let me tell you.
Every day.
I've been practicing this every day of my life.
Every day.
For nigh on 20 years, and I'm not perfect at that.
Because life just always keeps throwing you opportunities.
Does it just keep? Oh, and that brings us to my last point about positive affirmation.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about how many times you say them and do them. Life's going to show up and smack you upside the head.
Coming at you with more stuff.
And it's going to get your positive affirmation.
Yep.
Your car is going to break down. Somebody's going to get sick.
Positive affirmations are child's play against reality.
Reality is going to show up and this
break them.
Just yesterday I was swimming in this wonderful sea of positive affirmations right before I went to the doctor and got this horrible diagnosis.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, it's all.
Yeah, Meredith, you got it. It's the only thing.
Damn reality. What's that? Bumper sticker? Reality's a bitch. Used to be back in the 70s when I was in school. Yeah, I mean, that's another problem with them, is that you said them and you seemed like you got it going, the positive affirmation thing going, and then reality shows up and gone.
Yep.
Is out of there. So you come back to acceptance. And they didn't put that word mildly on the front. It really is acceptance. But it's accepting you the way you are. The way you are now. You just accept what you are now. The way you are now. I am feeling lousy. There you go.
Cool.
That's where you are now. You just accept that. It's okay. And then it's quickly followed up with, well, what do I need to do next? This is it. I mean, that's my life is like, well, what do I need to do next? It doesn't matter unless you're physically ill or something. I mean, obviously there's things that can happen that can prevent you from moving, but not feeling lousy.
If you have.
Or worthless. This is worthless. Feeling worthless. Well, feeling worthless doesn't have to prevent you from doing anything. So I just get on about doing it. Crap, folks, there's times when I spend a half a day and I know I'm doing this and doing this and doing this and doing this. I'm chopping wood, carrying water, as Phil and I put it. And you know what? I'm feeling like crap the whole time.
Yep. Not a warm, fuzzy experience, right?
I'm not talking. I'm whistling Nixie here. No, man. It's not fun.
Right. Everybody's gets them.
But I do it. I do what needs to be done. And there's an old Buddhist term, Zen term, whatever. Chop wood, carry water, eat when you're hungry, sleep when you're tired. And do that. And what it means is just accept the way things are and get done what you need to get done. And if you do enough of that, one day you'll notice, wow, I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
I'll have a feeling better day.
And look at that. I got some stuff done too. How about that?
And guess what? I get stuff done on feeling better days, and I get stuff done on not feeling better days.
Amazing how that works. Amazing.
I don't have to sit in the couch and do all kinds of whatever. So anyways, then you get into, let's finally, if your body is moving, there is tons of experimental evidence,
Oh, yeah.
other evidence that shows you do feel better.
Oh, yeah. Well, you start to generate certain neurochemicals that pleasure of arousal and moving. And
right. So, I mean, something to be said, and there's a study, huge study that they compared against exercise, moderate, low-level exercise, just walking, up against antidepressants. And the walking destroyed the antidepressants, just killed them. It was so much more effective. So much more they could do a dosing of it. 15 minutes of walking was equivalent to like a one pill. Two was like fantastic. And by the time you got up to 45 minutes, you're all done. You're not going to get any additional benefit out of movement and stuff. It was that strong. So you can literally prescribe somebody moving, walking, and there's a good chance they'll feel better.
Yeah. Or you could prescribe them a pill to help them to feel better.
Well, that's the more lucrative thing to do.
Right.
If you're a drug company. However, if you need to sell positive affirmation books, don't listen to us.
Yeah, this is not the channel for you.
But if you want to get me going, you say positive affirmation, like, because it really hurts. And what I say, harm you, it does.
It hurts.
Harms people.
It hurts. It damages people. It damages relationships. It damages people's lives.
Yeah, it damages things. It harms. It's not a benign thing.
No,
it's harmful. It is a harmful byproduct of what we humans do to each other.
Yeah,
and that's more harmful. It really is, and we can show it experimentally. So, if you can not do that to other people, that would be a nice thing. Phil and I are big on doing kindnesses to others. Be kind. Don't offer a positive affirmation.
right.
You know?
Now, Christine says, how about I accept myself as I am as an affirmation alternative?
Perfect. Well,
now we're talking Mr. Rogers, right, Kevin?
Now I love you just the way. No, I like you, love you.
I like you just the way you are.
I like you just the way you are. Mr. Rogers was an acceptance and commitment guy. We didn't even know it.
Before there was even acceptance and commitment.
Before there was acceptance and commitment.
There was Mr. Rogers.
At the end of every show, I like you just the way you are.
You've made this day a special day just by being you.
Just by being you. Right. So yes, it's not so much, but it's acceptance, man. That's really tricky, isn't it? It's like, well, you know what you need to do, Christine? Just be.
Yeah. Huh? How do I do that?
How do I be? Well, you are. Damn. Shit. That's hard. to be and your being is really it's I've even heard Steve Hayes talk about this. It's fun. It's this crazy thing, but that's what it's just be. Just be. In the end, that's it. You're just be. And it's pretty cool. Every once in a while I get there.
It's a noble activity.
It's a noble.
It's a very noble activity.
Yeah, I think once last Tuesday or something.
It's not going to get you into any kind of trouble, like trying to banish your.
No, when you get in fights, And here's the old saying: it's fine to argue with yourself, just don't lose the arguments.
Really?
Okay.
Not good.
If you do positive affirmation, you're arguing with yourself, and you're going to lose that argument
every single time.
Every 100% of the time, you're going to lose that argument. Ergo, don't don't get in the trap. Don't do it. It's a sexy trap, though, isn't it?
Ooh, very alluring.
Sexy. You get into Barnes and Noble and read those titles.
Oh, you got to have it. There's the answer. It's right up there on the shelf.
Think positive, right?
Oh.
Think positive.
Yes.
What was that book? What was that book? The Secret. The Secret. They renamed it The Secret, which was basically think positive. Think yourself into a Mercedes Benz, kind of thing. That, by the way, sets you up for failure, because then you're not thinking well enough.
Oh, Christine says now they call it manifesting. Oh, there you go.
Now they call it what?
In your life. Right.
Manifesting.
I love
Ooh, that's sexy. Ooh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to manifest something in my life.
Let's go someplace and manifest.
Yeah. Everybody's looking while I'm doing the manifesting.
If it's whatever it is, if you're mucking around trying to change your internal state, you're in trouble.
You're going to make yourself miserable. It's really
it's misery is showing up, and so accept yourself and go now and go do stuff.
Yeah, it's okay to feel crummy.
Let go, show up, get moving. You do stuff. Now, by the way, if you're a matrix, they say, well, what do I do? Relief stuff or satisfaction stuff? Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Do it all.
Yeah, do that. Do what you do. Do that.
Do all of that. Because that lends itself, doing action lends itself to an easier analysis of what's working.
Yep. And now you're not in your head playing with your dastardly negative thoughts.
You can sit on your couch and do that.
I can easily do this when I CrossFit, but in life it doesn't always work out.
I have that same life.
Well, that's why life has the upper hand. See, that's the thing. Eh?
I have the same one. Just when I think I got it all squared away.
Yep. Oh, fell in a hole.
But anyway, we've had fun, but they can be harmful, no doubt about it. So, ixnay on the positive affirmations. I mean, you can notice yourself doing them. Fine.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Doing my positive affirmations again. That's interesting.
But what else then? I better go chop some wood and carry some water.
Yeah. I think the garbage.
And by the way, folks, what we do is Phil and I, and we've been at this for decades. So here's what we do. We quit. When we get into that, we go, oh, yeah, who's important to me? That's our way out. We just go to who's important, and then we quick think of something we can do for them.
And then go and do it.
And then we just do it.
It's the doing it part that's kind of.
And if we happen to be struggling with our positive affirmations, fine. Just
that's okay too.
Go ahead and bring it with you and do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because you can do it. But remember, the main thing to remember out of this is that a positive affirmation primes a negative one. Fact.
That's why they're harmful.
F-A-C-T, fact.
That's why they're harmful, folks.
You cannot do away with that. And that's the problem. That's the fundamental problem with them.
Yep.
So there you go. Just accept what you are and get on about your business.
Warts and all.
There are many things. I bet you have many things you need to do for those who are important to you, including yourself. So I have found that in my own life.
Yep.
There's many things I need to do.
They're waiting for me.
They're right out there. I'm going to go do something.
Yep.
And I will. And it's fun. I'm glad you joined us today.
Yeah, this was fun.
We'll be back. We'll try and think of more more ways to be annoying to the
Yeah.
popular psychology.
Oh, Kevin, I'm sure we'll come up with something between
Well,
now and next time.
anybody, if you have any suggestions on how we can be annoying to those
Yeah.
folks,
We're
let
trying
us
to up our annoying game here.
we'll do it. We're being a little bit persnickety, but
Okay.
it's a good thing to be persnickety about. It's harmful. So, self-help books, for the most part, the positive affirmation self-help books are harmful.
They are.
What can we say?
And
We will
we're
sign
gonna-
up. We're going to go do a weekend. What are we doing
Yeah.
next week? Oh, we're doing writing.
book writing, right?
We're going to do book writing next week.
Yeah.
If anybody here is interested in book writing, hey, maybe you want to write a book on positive affirmation.
Oh, there you go. Stuff says no.
I'm just having fun. But if you're interested in book writing, we're going to do that next week.
Yeah, if you have a song in your heart you want to write about, we're going to do that next week.
We work a lot with people on that, so we're going to play with book writing. So and we're matricize the whole thing. You'll see.
Perfect. Oh, Jasmine says perfect. There you go.
Now remember what book writing primes up. What's
no.
entailed to book writing?
Think about it.
Think about it. Just
There it is. It's right there. You see it on the tip of your tongue.
there
it is. Oh man, you must have took a sneak peek at next week's Crowdcast.
That's when that's the problem with I need to write a book.
Yeah.
What's entailed with it is not writing a book.
Yeah. It's not written yet.
And given what most people's experience with book
Jazz,
writing
toxic people. Jazz says we should do a Crowdcast on toxic people.
For whatever do you mean, Jasmine?
Yeah.
I'm not known of any toxic people.
Hmm.
I live in a Pollyannish world.
Yeah. We state of ecstatic wonder often. For
I'm
us.
messing with you. We'll do that.
Only allowing positive people. Oh yeah.
I bring in the negatives as well, because you know what? I can't keep them out.
Yeah.
They keep
It's hard,
showing up.
it's hard to curate your people.
I like that. Maybe I need to hire a people curator.
You know, there's a job out there for somebody.
It's complete BS.
You're gonna get an email now. You watch.
We're gonna get in trouble. We're having fun. Now you'll notice, in spite of our lack of positive affirmations, we managed to usually
have a pretty good time. Yeah.
There's a famous saying by some actress said, if we'd all stop trying to be happy, we'd probably have a pretty good time.
Yep.
I love that quote. That's sort of us. We don't try to be happy, but we have a pretty good time. So we'll be back.
It shows up.
With a bad positive. Just play it with your head. You'll see. You'll
Hold this all lightly. Have fun with it, folks.
Just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Really. Do some positive affirmations. See what shows up. They're going to show up. You're going to see them.
No, there's no doubt. You'll have plenty of opportunities to notice.
Oh, yeah. There's lots. But who's important? Chop wood, carry water, carry on.
Do something nice for someone.
Do something nice for somebody. Do a kindness for somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, not to feel better or anything. Just to do a kindness for somebody. Yep. That's it. You get the hang of that, you'll have this. We'll be back on Monday. We're going to write a book.
Yeah.
Phil and I have the advantage. We've already written a book. So we'll help people join us for the party on book writing.
You too.
I didn't stop this thing, Phil. Oh, there's the end.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye,
See you. Bye.